Hello everybody, welcome to my video. So lately I've been a little bit lost on what to make on this channel because I've had massive art block. I feel like I'm not improving very much. Probably because I'm not actually doing anything. But I haven't been drawing a lot recently. But I thought I'd make a little video explaining some of my OCs. I have so many OCs, but because they're all part of different books that I'm writing, that I'm trying to write, that I've come up with and not really writing. In total, I have 4 working books. It's a lot, I know. I just keep coming up with new ideas and then not writing the other ones. They're all great, okay? I'm a bit biased, but they're all great. Because I'm not going to do character sheets for every single one of my OCs, that's way too many, I'm going to be doing all of the main characters from each of the book. So 4 in total. The first book and the main character in this book, Elizabeth Wren, aka Lizzie. No one calls her Elizabeth. This technically is my first ever original character. I began writing this story when I was, I think, 12 or something, and it was very, very different back then, but what remained the same was Elizabeth Wren. Not her name, or the way she looked, but you know, she was the same character. Age 16, she's 5'3", I don't know if that's important. As a character, Lizzie is very passive and observant. She's a very good listener, but she's a little bit of a pushover because she always just goes along with what everyone tells her to do. She's a bit of a klutz and easily embarrassed, and she has a big fear of making decisions. She relies on her friends a lot to make her decisions because she's very indecisive and scared to get things wrong. Her father is dead. He died in a plane crash. So she's terrified of planes, obviously. But she's also terrified of losing those that she loves and the decisions that will lead her there. She's very close with her father. He taught her most of the morals that she follows. And after he died, her mother was pretty heartbroken, so she had to take care of herself a lot. But at the time, she was 13, so she was pretty old. Not that old, but I wrote as a character trait that she loves bread and sleeping. So do with that what you will. She's scared of the dark and planes. I don't know. Every time I draw Lizzie, I always forget to add her freckles. Every time. But yes, she has freckles. And pretty red hair. I don't know, I just always I like dark red hair. I mean, it's not really a natural color, but I just think it's so pretty. Okay, book number 2. Our main character we have, one of my favorite characters that I've made, and probably the most built upon of all of them, Kiyomi Torii. Now, Kiyomi's book is set in a world where every person is born with one supernatural power. However, Kiyomi was born in a lab and experimented on as a child by this group of scientists who wanted to see if there were more powers that one person could hold. As a result, she was born with multiple powers and tested on and treated horribly until she got to age 6. Before that, only one of her powers had manifested, which were her wings. They aren't there all the time, but they come out when she wants them to, or when she's anxious because she doesn't have good control of her powers. But once she reached age 6, another one of her powers manifested: wind manipulation. As a result, she kind of exploded the building, alerting heroes in a world of supernatural powers. Of course, there's heroes. And she got rescued by one in particular, and he took her in, and eventually she got into this school called the Promise Academy, and that's where the story takes place. As a person, Kiyomi is very polite and subdued. She's very graceful, but secretly she's very excitable and curious. She's very adventurous, and she wants to be a hero, so she's very compassionate, but she loves to learn things about the world, but she's also very standoffish at the same time. She tries to find a balance between meeting new people and having friends, because that's one thing she always wants, and kind of having trust issues because of her past. And so that's kind of how she is, but she's very gentle and subtle, I'd say. Her hero name, once she becomes a hero, because that's her eventual goal, is Sparrow, which is very fun. I also read that she hates loud noises because she's a bird. This book is probably my favorite plot, even though it's the one that I have the least mapped out. I just think it's very fun. A bit of a pun. Her name, Kiyomi Torii, is Japanese, and her last name, Torii, is a bird in Japanese. Her first name is just cute. I don't know. The third book I have is called Forgotten Tear. This book originated because I drew a map of a fantasy world, and I kind of built up all the different countries and all of the backstory, and I thought that was really fun, so I built a book around that. And our main character, her name is Aries, and she is from Earth, so she's not from this fantasy world, but she's an author, and she writes this book called The Way of Tragedy. I am not going to talk about the plot, even though it's the most interesting part. But basically, someone takes her to the world to fix the plot, and stuff happens. Shenanigans ensue. Okay, let's talk about Aries as a character. She doesn't have much going for her in her life, so she writes stories as an escape of her hardships. Like any author, going into her book would obviously be a dream, but when it actually happens, she's very out of her element, and she isn't sure what to do. As a person, she's very fiery, and basically, she likes to pretend she knows what she's doing, but she never really does. She may seem headstrong, but she's not really the type to take charge or be the leader, even if she wants to. She just writes about people who do. This character I don't have written very much because I very much focused on the story for this book, and I haven't written her character a lot yet because the plot mapping was more important to me. It's very important to have characters to be characters, not to have characters just to help the plot. But I haven't yet written much about her. Our final character. Her name is Emilia. Now, this story is about two soulmates who keep dying and getting they keep getting reincarnated together, but every time they find each other again, well, not find each other again, every time they get to their happy ending per se, one of them dies and the other one recovers their memories and dies shortly after. It's very sad. Anyway, our leading woman, Emilia, she's very headstrong and passionate. In the first life, the beginning of it all, she is a crown princess waiting to be queen. So she's very leader type, and she's like cool girl, warrior, you know. But she's quite vulnerable with the people that she trusts. But she's very stubborn and quick to change things she doesn't like. And she gives her all to things that she thinks are important. So she's very gung-ho, I guess. But really, all she wants is to be happy with the love of her life. This story is very not built. In my other stories, I have roughly around 10 to 20 characters, all built. But in this one, I have 4, and 2 of them are only in it for like a tiny bit. It's just them, I guess. This is a lower priority, but she's there. She's another main character. She's great. We love her. I realize that all my main characters are similar. I promise all my other characters are very different. It's just I seem to have one perspective style, and it's a cute girl. I don't know. Okay. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you had a great time. Like it if you like it. Feel free to subscribe. Check out my Instagram for more art, and I'll see you next time. Bye.